Hello friends, we are in the latest episode of Transfer News. The winter transfer period is still ongoing, and we are evaluating the agenda and the latest developments. We are currently taking off with the first planes of the year 2024. Don't forget to subscribe. Sancho is doing everything to make his move to Dortmund happen. The English star told United a few hours ago, "Send me to Dortmund one last time," and the pressure is currently very high. We expect Sancho to join Dortmund on loan next week. In fact, his transfer was clear months ago. He is ready to return to where he was in top form. Although United says it's not done yet, Sancho has burned his bridges. Erik ten Hag spoke, saying, "There's nothing official yet. We'll wait and see what happens. We'll announce when there's a development." Despite the coach saying so, the teams have agreed. Within a week, Sancho will be an official player for Dortmund. Paris Saint-Germain is looking to transfer Bruno Guimaraes and has even prioritized this transfer. They are ready to do whatever it takes. The Brazilian midfielder is currently a favorite of Newcastle's coach Eddie Howe, having gained the admiration of all of England with his successful performances so far. Guimaraes has a release clause of €115 million, and PSG has started negotiations with banks for this. With a substantial loan agreement, PSG may transfer €115 million from Paris to English banks. PSG is owned by a Qatari company, while Newcastle is owned by a Saudi Arabian company. This means it will also be a competition between the two strongest investors in football for this transfer. Tottenham had issues in the defense line, especially after injuries. They pressed the button for a centre-back transfer, and quickly, the move for Radu Dragusin came in. Despite interest from Juventus, the 21-year-old defender from Genoa chose Tottenham. The whole world is waiting for Mbappe's new destination. Mbappe spoke, saying, "I haven't made any decisions about my future. I haven't made a choice yet. No one within the team is talking about transfers. That's not the topic. We don't expect him to stay in Paris. His time in the team is coming to an end." While Real Madrid continues to await Mbappe's move, the first offer came from Liverpool. Klopp's Reds should not be underestimated. As the leader of the Premier League and the biggest contender for the championship, they want to be invincible in the coming season by making a move for Mbappe. Liverpool has the financial means, as demonstrated by the offer they made for Caicedo, even if they couldn't secure him. They are quite comfortable in terms of Mbappe. With his transfer to Liverpool, Mbappe is expected to become the highest paid player in the Premier League in terms of salary, surpassing even De Bruyne. I'm sure Klopp sleeps every night with the possibility of having this squad on his mind. Regardless of which team in the world acquires Mbappe, he would dominate the left side of the game, providing incredible goal contributions and gaining the highest popularity for the team. At the beginning of the season, they were on the verge of selling Salah to Saudi Arabia. They never seriously considered selling him, but there was an offer close to €200 million. If Al Ittihad had pushed a bit more, Salah would have left. By the way, it's a good thing they didn't sell him because Salah, once again, has become the leader of the league, opening up his form. The Saudis were impressed by Salah's form that they couldn't acquire. Currently, he is both the top scorer and assist provider in the Premier League. King Salah is still ahead of the likes of Haaland and many other valuable competitors. Aaron Ramsdale has requested to leave Arsenal in order to get more playing time. He was initially the first-choice goalkeeper but lost his position. One of the teams that the 25-year-old goalkeeper could go to is Wolverhampton. Arteta definitely does not want him to leave, considering him a valuable option for goalkeeper rotation. However, Aaron Ramsdale's priority is to play and get more playing time. Fluminense star midfielder Andre is ready to transfer. He has several suitors, and we hope he will join his new team shortly. His current team has set a high transfer fee, but it shouldn't be a problem, especially for Premier League teams. Manchester City has signed Claudio Echeverri, a number 10 player from the Argentine school, at the age of just 18. City will pay River Plate €25 million with bonuses for him. Additionally, as part of the agreement, the player will remain on loan at River Plate for one more year. Manchester United has hit the transfer button. With Sancho leaving, they want to make an offer to Michael Olise. They are ready to compete with Liverpool and other giants. He is a fantastic player and certainly better than Anthony. Although being better than Anthony might not be enough because being better than today's Anthony is not very challenging. Additionally, the forward position has been on the agenda for months. They will bring someone in, and the name mentioned today is Timo Werner. Donny Malen could leave Dortmund this winter. United is pursuing him, and a swap with Sancho is even being considered. The player has changed his manager to facilitate the transfer and is already prepared to make a move. Goncalo Guedes is in talks to join Villarreal. The 27-year-old winger was loaned from Wolverhampton to Benfica. Villarreal is in search of a winger, and they are very close to reaching an agreement with both teams for his transfer. Meanwhile, Benfica has acquired 20-year-old forward Marcos Leonardo. Santos earned €18 million from the transfer. However, I think this amount might be low for them because Benfica can potentially sell him for almost €100 million within the next 2 years. They are quietly going and acquiring players, whereas in the past, they used to pay 4 to 5 million and now it's reaching 15 to 20 million. However, when it comes to selling, they remain consistent, making a profit of 300 to 400%. Football is a massive business for them. Defender Matteo Gabbia was playing on loan at Villarreal. However, as of yesterday, Milan recalled their player. The 24-year-old Italian defender made an early return home. Conor Gallagher wants to stay at Chelsea. However, the Blues are determined to sell him. Tottenham was the last team to make an offer. Chelsea is ready to let go of Gallagher to make new transfers. If the conditions are met, we expect him to change teams next week. It has been reported that Carlo Ancelotti has reached an agreement for a new contract with Real Madrid. While there were talks about him taking charge of the Brazil national team, this news is significant. If the news is accurate and the contract is extended, Real Madrid will have solved their biggest problem. Brentford manager Thomas Frank spoke out, saying, "Ivan Toney is staying with us, why would we sell him? To part ways with him, we would need an incredible offer." The equivalent for Arsenal in this statement is, "We are close to any swaps, and we also don't accept offers below €100 million. Arsenal was criticized during Wenger's time for not spending money. Over the years, they have shattered that perception, with the Rice move being the pinnacle. Predicting whether they would pay €100 million for Toney is difficult. If they knew that the championship would come, they would pay it today. However, they cannot financially fulfill everyone's wishes. They have to follow one of two different paths. Either they will negotiate for a lower price for Toney, or they will make an offer for a different candidate, considering the winter transfer window gives them about a month. Without realizing what's happening, the transfer window could close. Therefore, if the price for Toney does not drop, they may look for a different candidate. Arsenal's past interest in Vlahovic is back on the agenda. Paying between 50 and 60 might be enough for him. Although Juventus declared him not for sale, he was on the market 5 months ago, but January is like that. Nobody wants to easily disrupt their team. Besides, despite being much more reasonable in terms of price compared to Toney, there is the Premier League factor. It would be very difficult for Vlahovic to come and suddenly adapt to the league, making the team champions. If he could achieve that, he would earn the respect of the whole world. Pogba is awaiting the verdict on a doping case. If he receives a 3 or 4 year suspension, he will end his career. In the case of a shorter ban, he wants to move to Saudi Arabia. I believe it would be his last opportunity to earn money from football. For instance, if he receives a 2-season ban, he will transfer to a team in Saudi Arabia. He won't be able to play in an official match for 2 years, but he will have a ready player profile for the 3rd year. Manchester United announced that Sergio Reguilon has returned to Dortmund. It's good news for Nuri Sahin, and we are counting down to his transfer to Dortmund. The 27-year-old Spanish player said yes to this transfer without hesitation. Zenit has completed the transfer of the Brazilian player Nino from Fluminense. This can be considered a significant surprise, as Nottingham Forest had paid his release clause. However, the player chose Russia over England at the last moment. Nino, a promising and important centre-back, will now play for Zenit. Porto is in search of a centre-back, and Keller Soyuncu was on their agenda. Talks with the Turkish player have begun. The 27-year-old Keller was planning to make a comeback after leaving Leicester. However, he is struggling to get the desired minutes at Atletico. At one point, he was linked with some of the world's biggest clubs. If he wants to reach the same level again, he must be very successful in the team he chooses to join. Bayern Munich continues its search for a defensive player. With Kim Min-jae participating in the Asian Cup, the need for a transfer has arisen. Chalobah from Chelsea is now an option for Bayern. They have many options, but with the start of the January transfer window, a clear favorite has not been determined yet. We agree that they will bring in a centre-back, we just don't know who it will be. In the meantime, Brian Zaragoza has signed for Bayern Munich. A deal has been made valid until 2029. He may not be a star player, but he is a promising talent. It's important not to forget his name. Zielinski has Liverpool on his mind, but the first offer came from Inter. They can make an official offer since he has entered the last 6 months of his contract. In fact, they have offered Zielinski a higher salary than Hakan. A 3-year contract is on the table. The Polish national team player has a long period of 6 months to decide. Inter has signed new contracts with both Dimarco and Mkhitaryan. Dimarco extended his contract until 2026, while Mkhitaryan signed an extension until 2027. Additionally, Inter is set to announce the Buchanan transfer within a few days. Club Brugge has officially sent the documents for the Canadian player to Inter. We are awaiting an official announcement for a fee of €7 million plus bonuses. Casemiro has started negotiations with Saudi teams, with Al Nassr being the leading contender. They have a significant advantage, with important stars like Ronaldo and Talisca carrying the scoring load. However, Al Hilal holds the leadership position, so they must make transfers. One of the transfers they are keenly pursuing is Casemiro. Artem Dopik continues to score goals, and as he does, transfer rumors have started circulating. We mentioned that he is on Atletico Madrid's list, with Simeone closely monitoring his situation. Additionally, there have been recent claims linking him to Chelsea, but Girona issued a statement following reports of an offer from Chelsea. They stated, "We have not received any offers, all of these are just rumors. We are not recommending any players to anyone, nor do we have any intention to sell anyone. They are seriously competing for the championship, currently tied with Real Madrid in points, firmly in the race. Therefore, making such a statement is entirely natural." However, they could lose almost their entire squad for the next season. For any team with financial resources, Girona's squad will be like a treasure map.